All right, welcome everybody. This is episode 46 of Manifest Mondays. We are tapped in, man. I'm live from Sacramento, Sacktown. We got my
Yes, sir.
dog Ramon live from Phoenix. We all over, man. We all over. But we always here every Monday. And so today we're gonna be talking about bucket list, man. What that looks like, what's on your bucket list, what categories are they, just everything bucket list. So with that being said, what are some of the things that are on your bucket list?
Everybody, if you're in the chat too, Marco, I know you're here, man. Drop some of the things on your bucket list,
Hmm.
man. Um, um, what it's we got a lot to kind of dive into today, but just off the top of my head, man, one of my biggest ones is like it's just becoming like I feel like in my mind, I really feel like I want to become some type of like global citizen. I just feel like I feel the best when I'm moving around. I feel the best when I'm in, what I'm saying, being able to hit different countries and, connect with people in different places. So I think that is one of them, like becoming a global citizen. And what
Hmm.
I mean by that specifically is like I had this random question that we had this conversation a couple times, but I've had it with a lot of people around me. If you could have a house in uh, uh in a different country for every season, right? So if you have four
Hmm.
houses in different seasons, what would that look like? And that's kind of what it planted a little seed in my mind to be like, yo, that's one of the goals. That's what's one of the bucket list moves that I want to have is like
Hmm.
four different cribs around the world, one in Europe, one in the States, one in Africa, and then probably one in like an island like Jamaica or something. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like it planted the seed. So that's definitely one of my big ones there. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Uh, yeah, just to kick it off, that's one of my big ones there, man. Four different cribs,
Yep.
one for every season. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. That's it.
Yeah, that's one of mine. So
Piggybacking off of that, of course, that's definitely on my bucket list is having multiple homes around the world. I think really just living overseas is really high on my bucket list too. We've kind of like we've kind of dabbled into that life of being in Europe for 3 months, right? So I think we got a little like taste of that. But I think like actually living overseas and having like just a fly ass crib somewhere in the
mm,
world outside of the states is a huge goal of mine. That's on my bucket list for sure. So I piggybacking off of that, that's definitely high on my bucket list is for sure. Um, Having a fly ass crib somewhere in the world that is outside of the US.
that's fire.
Outside of that, I think in relation to just goals, just things that you want to accomplish in life, especially before, we kick the bucket, right? The whole idea of kicking the bucket. But I've always wanted to be a philanthropist, man. So I think just being able to affect the world and the masses in a major way is one of my huge bucket list items. But in order to do so, you got to make a lot of money to be a philanthropist. So,
Yeah.
so I still got about, $99.9 million left to go, in order to get to where I want to be. But slowly but surely, man, we getting there. We getting there.
Thanks. You probably closer this
That's
year
it.
than last year. You know what I mean?
That's it, man. That's it.
So now that's what's up, bro. What's Let's get to some of those destinations, bro. What's some of the like the bucket list destinations that you would like either live in or just want to go to?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I got a lot of bucket list destinations that I need to go. I'm not gonna lie. Let me just start firing off. Dubai. Dubai is definitely on there. Greece for sure.
Thanks.
New Zealand. My mom's homeland, Samoa.
Gotta do that.
Got to go to Antarctica because I want to be one of the people who says who I went to all seven continents in the world.
Yeah.
So I definitely got to go to Antarctica at some point just to pull up. It's not going to be a long trip. It's probably just going to be a pop in, pop out. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Popping
Check that
popping
off the
in
bucket.
and out of Antarctica is insane. Like, yeah, this was cool. This was cool, man. I'm
This is
about ready to
smooth,
get up
man.
out of here.
I can't imagine there's a whole lot going on in Antarctica. So
You
like
never,
it's
you
just that's
never know.
you never
They might
know.
got an everyday people in Antarctica.
You should have went. Like,
Hey, would you stay? Would you would for just for the experience? Would you stay in one of the, like an igloo situation?
I think I would for the
Mhm.
experience. If I'm there,
Yeah,
if I'm there in Antarctica, I'm like, bro, like I might as well just do it to the like fullest degree. But it also depends to the point, like we were talking about earlier, where we at in life, right? You know, so if I'm going in, if we like millionaires at this point, and I'm about to sit in this igloo and just freeze my ass off with no kind of like any kind of accommodations, I don't know, man. Like I'm not
nah,
trying
you
to
about
like
to be
freeze just
bougie. You
all
know
night.
you gonna be bougie as hell in that little igloo, bro.
You know, I'm
Hand warmers, and you know what I'm saying, mobile Keurigs and shit.
you see what I'm saying? Oh, you want to talk about mobile carriers? Boy, this man Marco out here, he brought his damn Nespresso machine with him.
Come on,
Like
man.
brought it from his crib. I was like, bro, is it that serious? Like, I'm like, he's like, yeah, bro, I need my
Listen,
coffee. I'm like, they got a Keurig here in the Airbnb. Like, which, like, no, it's not the same. Like, all right,
not that. You
okay,
know what I'm saying? Come on,
all right.
man.
You know, they're different levels, man. But at the end of the day, yeah, man, I would be bougie. I definitely have the what is it, the space heaters, like you know them like them industrial space heaters and shit. Like,
Have
yeah,
to, bro.
we for sure we that igloo would be cracking. I ain't gonna lie, that igloo that igloo life would be fire. But Antarctica is definitely on the list. I got to go to the Amazon. I went to Brazil, you know, but I didn't get to experience the Amazon, so I think that's something that I'd love to experience. Um, Not like necessarily going and staying out in the Amazon, because you know, in the jungle, there's a lot of shit that can fuck you up. So I I think it's just one of those things. Like I just want to see it for myself. You know, I don't think as we've gone out and ventured into the world a lot more, pictures just don't do justice of what you see out in the world, and so I think that'd just be something visually that I'd want to see for myself.
Yeah,
Um, I think going to Alaska for sure, the Aurora Borealis is something I'd want to see in person, and that's all I can really think of off the top of my head.
that's actually one of mine to see. Like something to see is Aurora Borealis. I feel
Yeah,
like that would always be dope. I feel like I had a weird like connection with them. Like, you know, like I just always loved them. Even on like the Seeds cover, I put
yeah,
one like
facts,
intentionally. I put one on there.
yeah,
Like you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
the original picture didn't really have it. You know what I mean. So it's something that's something I always had a pull to see one of those for sure.
fire.
I thought that would be dope. But for sure, I'm definitely not going to get you in Antarctica, brother.
Come on, fool
100%.
with your boy, man. Go fool
Nah,
with your boy.
nah, nah. You got it. You got it, man. I'm not. Nah, we not doing that. You know what I mean? I'd probably do like Alaska just to kind of see that, maybe. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro.
You ain't
Nah.
gonna come, you ain't
You
gonna.
know what I'm saying?
What if we doing like a gig out there or something?
How dope could the gig get? There's a lot of places we can move this thing to. Like, you know what I'm saying? What kind of gig could we really have?
But how many people would be able to say they gigged in Antarctica? We'd probably be one of the very few.
Damn, you know how I am about cold shit. You know, like, and that ain't even, we not even talking extreme. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know, like, the coldest I think I felt was like negative 17, bro. And I was like, this is stupid. Like, this is insane. Like, you know what I mean? So if it's anything worse than that, I'm like, bro, there be places it's like negative 40 sometimes. Like, what the fuck are we doing? I don't
Like, why
understand. I
is it
don't get
so
it.
God's damn
I
cold, bro? Like,
don't get it,
it
bro.
don't make
I
no
do not
sense.
get it, bro. You cannot make that make sense to me, bro. Negative 40 is insane. So, nah, bro, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, man. We gonna.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
doing that.
convince you. I'm gonna convince you.
We're gonna see, man. We're gonna see, man. But what's like uh what's like places that you would live? You said living overseas.
Yeah,
What's some of those places that you would live overseas?
I gotta live in Africa at some point. So I think. I mean, I've only specifically been to Rwanda, so I'd want to say Rwanda because I love
Yeah.
Rwanda and I could definitely see myself living there. But there's still a lot of the rest of the continent that I want to explore. But I know for sure I got to live somewhere on the African continent.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure where. As of right now, it's Rwanda, but that's because that's all I know.
Yeah.
Um, so for sure, Africa. I'd love to live. I think in my mom's like homeland in Samoa at some point. I'd like to have like a fire ass crib there because my family actually owns land in Samoa. So
Oh, that's
I'd love to just build a fly ass crib like on our land and Um, yeah, just had a family there. Just do it for the for the squad. So I'd love to live there. Uh, this is more recent. I went to Brazil, man, and I really felt a connection with Brazil. I could really see myself living in Brazil. I ain't gonna lie. Like having a home out there, I could definitely see myself having a fly ass house out there. And our currency is just um, so much more than theirs, right? Ours is 5 times their currency. So you can go out there with like, $1 million and build something crazy out there, right? So I'd love to be out in Brazil and just be out there living life, man. Brazil was beautiful. It was gorgeous. The people are
Man,
gorgeous too.
I know what you
Woo-wee.
mean by that. I know what you're
Yeah.
saying by that.
Man, you see what I'm saying?
I see what you're
Uh,
saying.
they built different out there. So, that's all I'm
built,
saying.
built different is
Built
funny, man.
different. But
That's what's up.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. I could see myself living somewhere maybe in like Australia or something like that. I really rocked with Australia while I was out there too.
Yeah,
Uh, um,
of course, that's what's up.
but there's still so many more places that I want to go, man.
Yeah, yeah,
I really do think in doing some like research and whatnot, I could see myself living in Dubai, like having a house there. Maybe just not living there permanently, but like like you said, like a seasonal crib, like just maybe popping out to Dubai, during the winters and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, I think that's all I can think about off the top of my head. What about you?
that's what's up, man. Well, I got my top four. They overlap a little bit, but I'm probably just living wise. I like I said, I want to have at least four careers. That's like one of the dream goals, and then
Hmm.
uh, it's for sure going to be somewhere in Africa. Like I said, Rwanda might make most sense right now because that's the only place we've been. But for some
Hmm.
reason, I feel a calling to Ghana and South Africa too. Cape Town might be dope. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like it might have I might have one in Rwanda and Cape Town just because I think
Yeah.
Cape Town might have more like the city vibe I might be looking for.
Facts.
Just here and there, I don't want to always be in it, but maybe you want to pop out here and there. You know what I'm saying?
I heard South
Uh,
Africa got the teams too,
come
man.
on, man. Come
You
on,
see
man.
what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that um on the Europe side, I, maybe like a Greece would be cool. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like to have a spot out there. You know what I'm saying? I still haven't been, but like it's gonna be some spot in Europe, so but probably Spain. Let's do that. No, we'll just do that.
Yeah, I can
We're
see
going
that.
somewhere. There's gonna be a spot in
Yeah.
Spain. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Then we're gonna do a spot in Jamaica, man. I just feel like my roots to the island culture be calling me sometimes. You know what I'm
The
saying?
Caribbean.
Yeah. Your family from Grenada. You know what I'm saying? So, um, and then somewhere in the states, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Have a spot out here. So,
Where in the
yeah.
States?
That's tough, man. I mean, it depends on which level I'm at. Like somewhere in California might be cool, maybe.
Hmm.
AZ kind of makes sense right now. It just does. You know what I'm saying? It's just like I don't like the cold and I'm not big on humidity. So if you weed those out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
AZ's kind of cool right now. So and it's kind of like just middle of things.
There's nothing cool about it right now, but I
Nah,
mean,
hell nah. But that's why I'm gonna have my other three cribs in different countries. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be out here in the summer, brother.
come
But come
come
see me on
November,
Thanksgiving. Yeah, come
yeah,
Thanksgiving. It's
something like
on.
that.
It's
Be all
on.
right.
It's on at Thanksgiving. So yeah, bro. So that's probably some of my shits.
Yeah, crib, my crib in the U.S. It would be a toss up between San Diego because I've always loved Dago, Cali, but especially being out here in Sacktown right now, like it just makes me realize I am going to be on the West Coast at some point in life, like I for sure.
Yeah.
Like I just feel drawn out here for whatever reason. And maybe it's just because I'm closer to the water. I think, but even with New York, it feels different. Like, in New York, I'm close to the water as well, but maybe it's just because the more like opportunity for space and stuff like that, like on like having like a home and whatnot, you know, because when it comes to having a home, like it'd be cool to have like a penthouse in New York or something like that. But at the same time, like it's just like if I envision like let's say I'm spending like $12 million on a house, right? I want some land, right? Like I
Yeah,
want like a I
space for
want
sure. Yeah,
space, you know, and in New York, you're not gonna get a lot of that, you know, like unless you're like upstate. Like if you're out of the city, that makes a difference. So, you know, I guess that is an option. But I think naturally I just feel drawn to San Diego. So I'm thinking probably somewhere on the West Coast, either that or like Texas. Because Texas, you just get so much bang for your buck, man.
yeah,
Like
you will get a
just
lot, bro. It will go
you can
far.
get you can build a compound out there, bro. Like you just it's crazy what you could build out there with so little.
Mhm.
Um and especially by US standards. So um yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be one of them places for me in the States at least.
I feel that. I feel that. What's some of the event wise? What's some of the shit on the bucket list that might be like that you would want to do event wise?
Yeah, I gotta go to Carnival, man. I gotta go to Carnival at one point.
I gotta. I'm
Yeah,
copying
man.
that. That's I need that one.
I
One
gotta go to
time.
Carnival one time, just at least one time, to just really see what it's like in person. I've heard nothing but great things for the people that I know who have gone. They've ranted and raved about it, and so that's something I definitely got to. And just I mean, just seeing the videos and stuff like that, that looks like a place I need to be
Yeah.
for sure. So
Nah, facts.
Carnival for sure. Uh, trying to think of events. Oh, I want to go to a World Cup game. A World Cup game is definitely on my bucket
That was
list for
on
sure.
mine too. That was
Yeah,
definitely on mine too.
definitely got to do a World Cup game. Uh, especially going to Brazil and having experienced my first soccer game in person. I was just like, bro, like the energy in there was crazy. So I'd love to go to a World Cup game. I know I can already see how electrifying the stadium would be and shit. It'd be rocking, bro. It'd be rocking.
Fire.
So I think that I'm trying to think if there's like, you know, even though we're in like the music industry, I'm not really big on concerts. So like, I don't know. I guess like a Coachella would be cool, but like at the same time, I don't like going to concerts or to like festivals in that regard, just because I don't really care for crowds like that. So I don't know if there's necessarily any like concert that I'd be like, yo, I have to do this at some point in life. It'd more so be like from a performer perspective, like I have to perform at this at some point in life. Like I'd much rather perform at Coachella than attend it
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm biased in that sense, but trying to think is if there's any other events. I don't know. That's all that's coming to mind. What about you?
Yeah. I'm probably going to duplicate your list for the most part. World Cup for sure.
Hmm.
Um, I kind of feel the same about like big concerts too. But then even rocking with Greg, man, he be sometimes having us in those little suites. I could go to I could be in a suite, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying, at the
facts.
concert. You know what I mean? That might be a little different. But I'm trying to think about events that, Super Bowl I think would be just dope one time. You know what I'm
Fire.
saying? The
Yeah.
Super Bowl would be fire.
Hmm.
Super Bowl would be really, really fire to see. Especially at the, like this year would be fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know there's a lot
Facts.
of controversy on the Kendrick Wayne situation in New Orleans, but shit, man, I don't know if, Kendrick is one of the best like rap performers I've ever seen. Period. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So just the Super Bowl with Kendrick tied to it with the year and run that he's been on this year,
Yeah.
that
His
would be
run has
crazy.
been special. And
Yeah,
side note, we gotta touch on that really quick. All this like, I'm not saying that with it being in Louisiana that Wayne shouldn't have been a part of it. And there's who's going to say that he won't be. You know, like I could see Kendrick doing something like trying to like you know like include Wayne in the performance somehow. But even if not, you look at all those Super Bowls, nobody local performed there. Like no one who was from
yeah.
there
The only
performed.
one is Dre. Dre
Yeah, that's the
in
only
LA
one.
was the only one.
That's the
The
only
only
one.
one. You know what I'm saying? I think with recent times of just like how things have developed, it's like and that's like a kudos to Jay-Z of how he's
Hmm.
been rolling out these last Super
Hmm.
Bowl performances that people feel like that's the tie now. He's made things make so much sense that they feel like that should have just happened,
Hmm.
right? Like Dre being in LA, and then even Usher's not from Vegas, but just like him having his residency there, it was a dope play. Like it was, you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? But I don't think that was ever really the thing, like, like ever coming up that the performer that has to be from there, right?
Yeah.
But I do want to touch on this. It would have been legendary for Wayne to do it. This is my my controversial opinion, right? I think Wayne might have done it if this Drake and Kendrick thing didn't happen.
Hmm.
And this is why. It would have been legendary to see Wayne go up there and then show the generations of where he took it, right? Like you might get, you get the cash money, Wayne, then you might even get the young money, Wayne. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Hit some of his run, and then the breakdown of like Nicki and Drake coming in would have been crazy before this year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if this deal didn't happen, that would be like a legendary, right? That would kind of be like a
It
legendary
would be.
lineup, right? You bringing out Juvie, Manny Fresh, you know what I'm saying? And then all the way down to like Nicki, Drake. There's probably a Tiger in there somewhere. You know what I mean? Like all these pieces that kind of would have been a legendary play, right? But I just think that with that transpiring, I think that kind of pulled away from that draw. You know
Hmm.
what I mean?
And
So,
that's why I pulled Kendrick in more. Like
yeah,
when they announced Kendrick, it just makes sense. Like it's just like you said, he's been on a tear this year. And even to your other point, Kendrick's a hell of a performer, man.
that's a
Like
fact.
he's a different level. And if we're being extremely transparent, Lil Wayne is not the greatest performer from what I've seen. Like I've seen some of his perform. I've never seen him live, but like just from like some of the videos of like what I've seen of him performing and stuff like that, I'm like he doesn't strike me as like he just benefits from the fact that like everyone knows his music. So he kind of just rides off of that. But as far as being like a very compelling and just super energetic and just a vibe on the stage, I haven't grasped that from Wayne. So I'm honestly not mad at the decision. I'm also biased because I'm a Dot fan, so I'm just like naturally when it was announced, I was like, boy, he finna cook Drake on that goddamn stage on the biggest stage in the world. He finna cook his ass.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I mean, like I said, Kendrick is one of the best rap performers I've ever seen. Like, and he
Best
actually
rap
had one of the
rappers.
best shows that I've seen too from a rap performance. Really, like ever. Just like on that. I've seen him twice. And I've seen him a couple times now, and just like how he puts the same effort into his lyrics as he does into the performance, the full performance from from dancers to just the concepts that he uses. I'm sure he's gonna go insane. I'm saying at the Super Bowl, man.
Hmm.
So yeah, we don't got to spend the whole episode there, but shout out to Kendrick, man.
Shout out to Dot,
We
man.
we love Wayne, man, and maybe there's still a time, but shout out to K Dot, man.
Shout out to Dot, man. He earned it.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Anyways,
All right.
continue on with the events. So we got the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. World Cup. Um. Uh. I think NBA
You know,
finals will be dope.
I think the finals. I also would love to attend. Like I love tennis, so I would love to attend something like the U.S. Open or Wimbledon. Something like that would just be cool to
Fire.
just see, like in person. I think that would be fire.
That would be
You know, they'd be out there.
fire.
They'd be
Yeah, that'd be
they.
come on, man. That would be fire.
That would be fire. That would be fire to see in person. So,
That would be fire.
and side note, whoever wants to catch this work on the tennis court, man, let your boy know. Let your boy know.
Come on, man. He's
I'm
ready.
all the way with the shits.
Uh,
Any other events?
mm, bucket list. Here's a small one though. Here's a small one that I just thought, like I've been on a hot air balloon, but just that little hot air balloon festival that they be having,
Hmm.
and it's a small one, but it's in what's it called New Mexico. They had that little,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? It's like a hot air balloon fest or something like that. Just feel like that would just be a dope little experience, man. And bitch, now that I've been on one for the first time, they're like real serene and just calm and shit like that. But just to see
Yeah.
like a whole festival, that shit would be kind of dope. I feel like, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It's a random one, man.
That's fine.
You know, yeah, yeah. So I think
That was
that
actually
could be dope.
going to lead me into my next question. If there's anything that you recently added or removed from your list, from your bucket list, and I guess that would be a new addition, right? Is the hot air balloon
Yeah,
festival?
yep. It's been a couple of them, man. Like the hot air balloon was definitely on the bucket list that we, you know, me and my cousin Anifa, shout out to her,
Shout out
crossed off
to
together.
Nifa.
Um, Bunifa.
Bu Bunifa is
Shout out to
hilarious, bro.
Bunifa,
Shout
man.
out to Bunifa, man.
We crossed that one off. Africa for sure, but that was like one of my biggest bucket list things. Like I just knew I had to get to
Mm-hmm.
Africa at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So that was definitely one of my biggest ones. Um, the one that had got added to it and then completed in the same in a relatively short amount of time. And shout out to everybody who made this happen, man. The scholarship in my sister's name, bro. Like
Yeah,
I don't
bro.
even know if falls under the bucket list thing,
Yeah.
but that's just like one of the biggest things to me, accomplishment wise, that could have been done. Like you know what I'm saying? Just fully. So that's one of the ones
But
that I feel like I
uh,
added in, removed from it. What up, boy?
hey, what's going on, bro?
What up, boy? You
I'm
moving
here.
and grooving, huh?
Moving and grooving, man. Just
That's
gonna let's pop in a little bit.
what's up, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here go them boys. Here go them boys.
What's good?
What up, boy? Come on, man.
Yeah, we out here, man. I couldn't join earlier today.
I know.
You know,
It's
cause
all
Now you
good.
good, man. You at the dealership right now?
Y'all
yeah,
out
we
here
have a
car
dealership
shopping.
right now.
It sounds
Yeah,
like this a perfect segue. You know what the concept that we did today was bucket list. Sound like y'all about to cross off a bucket list move right now.
bro. That's dope. Yeah, it's true, man. It wasn't even like a bucket list, man. But we've been thinking about it. We're like, man, our dad about to be 67. You know, it's his birthday. Might as well like just surprise him and get him something nice. So we started
Finna
like,
buy
I'm
him a
like,
car.
hey,
That's
yeah, get him a
fire.
car. So
Now
I guess that's
that's a
some,
That's
that's a
that's a
bucket
that's a
list play right
power
there,
move.
boy.
That's a
yeah,
power move for that ass.
yeah. So we just out here, man, trying to do that. But he has no idea, bro. So we just like,
Yeah,
cause it's a Wednesday, right? So the plan is just like get something really nice. Hopefully by tomorrow, once we figure out what we're gonna get, and then just like drive over there, you know, and then surprise him, bro. So
that's
yeah,
How you
fire.
think How you think he's gonna react to
bro. I don't even know, man.
it? is he is he an emotional dude? Probably not really him.
He is,
Is
bro.
he?
Like, I don't think just like, yeah, in the sense that I feel like it'll be more sentimental for him,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah,
seeing him like having no idea, and then we surprise him on his birthday and give him a card, like
You
so he
think he's
just
gonna
want
cry a little bit?
to. We'll see. I'll record it.
You gonna cry in the car.
Yeah, I'll cry in the car.
yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
he ain't gonna cry in front of y'all, but he
probably, man. Who knows? Who knows how he gonna feel? But yeah, man, we just thought of it this year. Like, you know what? 6 to 7, man. For the end of the day, bro. Life is too short, man. You never know, bro. So give people your flowers.
that's
Give them flowers while they're
it.
alive.
That's it,
That's
man.
right.
So we
That's what's
just
up,
want to
man.
do that for him. So I guess that's a bucket list item, bro. But that's something
That's
at
fine.
one point I
Mm,
always wanted to do. Just be able to like buy my mom a crib and be able to do that for the people you love
yep.
and care about.
Hmm.
But I think it's like baby steps, right? We always talk about baby steps, right? Yeah,
Hmm.
we're not gonna be able to get the crib right now, but
Yeah,
at least we can
yeah.
get that car.
Exactly.
Just be able to do little
Exactly.
things like that, man. So
That's
yeah,
the one. That's the one that we forgot to say was buy mama a house, man.
right,
Facts.
right.
Facts.
My mom's gonna have a flat crib, but I mean, I ain't gonna lie. She might be in the guest house in my crib. I ain't gonna lie. Like
that
she might just have her own little whole
Really,
thing.
really,
that works too, though.
you know.
Just out in the crib, yeah, that works too, man. So yeah, well, the bucket list, bro. My other bucket list, man, having like 3 homes in like different areas. Cause at one point, bro, I always wanted a house up in the mountains.
Hmm. Hmm.
Just to get away from like the city and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely a bucket list for me. And
That's
then
fire.
a penthouse in a big city, for sure.
What? Miami.
Bro,
Nah, he ain't talking
no,
about New York.
nah, I don't know if I can afford. Man, let me not say I don't know if I can afford New York. Who am I to say
Yeah,
that?
don't cap
Who knows if God
See,
yourself.
willing?
Don't cap yourself, brother.
don't do that. Don't do that.
Right? Yeah, because bro, Manhattan would be amazing, bro. Woo-wee.
That would be crazy.
Hmm. But
But man, I'm
I
just
ain't gonna lie, a penthouse in Miami would be cracking.
right. So
Yeah.
I'll say Miami, bro. 'Cause I love Miami way more than Miami, to be honest. Because the beach is right there. The vibe is always sunny, you know. So yeah, man. So I would definitely say that those are like my bucket list things I want to do for sure.
That's
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
What's up, Bunifa? I see her in the
Boniva's
comments.
in the building.
Bunifa in the house.
It's funny. It's funny. We was just talking about bucket list, man, and we was talking about how we crossed off the hot air balloon recently, man. That was dope.
Hmm.
That was
Shout out to
definitely dope.
Bunifa, man.
How was that though? How was it hot belong for you guys? Were you scared when you got into it?
Nah, bro, it's such a like slow rise
Mm,
that it's not like shaky at all. Like it's like real. It's a smooth. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a smooth
right.
takeoff, bro. Like that shit is that shit is like just serene, bro. And it was just dope just seeing. I never seen the world like at that angle just because it moves so slow, but you just so high in the air. It's not like being on a plane. You like outside in it. You know what I mean?
That
So
won't have any
Hmm.
of this.
it's a
And
different
it does
different
give you a
vibe for
heads up
sure.
display. If you want, we could turn on the car. Yeah.
All right, fellas. I just stopped popping. We're gonna go on a test drive. So hopefully if you guys are still on, I'm gonna get back in.
Yeah,
For sure,
man.
It's gonna
All
be
right.
man.
like in a
All right,
wave.
Enjoy
peace,
that
guys.
test drive, man.
Come on, man. Hey,
Niggas,
that's fire,
niggas
bro.
driving. I'm just in the back seat chilling. So I'm
Shout out to
good.
shout out to Pops, man. Come on, crossing
Shout
off
out to
a
Pops,
bucket
man.
list in the real time. That's
But
what's
it's
up.
kind of like a safety.
All right, fella. I'll catch up with y'all soon. All
All right, well,
All right, yo.
It's
right.
not warm.
Yo.
All right.
I think that kind of like leads into our next point, right? We were talking about it earlier, is of uh do any of your bucket list items like are they related to giving back or like making an impact, on the
hmm
people around you, on a greater scale? And so I think that's a good segue into, DG talking about what recent financial prosperity has like led him to the ability, him and his brothers to buy their dad a car, and eventually buy mom a house and stuff like that. And so I think that's a reflection of what you can do when you accumulate wealth, and obviously how that can translate to your direct impact on others. So that's a question for you, P, and everybody on here too. Like, do any of your bucket list items include doing for others?
yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, like the biggest one is well, the first one that what it was is the scholarship in my sister's name for
Yep,
sure.
facts.
Sure, I mean, 'cause it means so much to me to have her name tied to something that's going to not only live forever but be given back to black girls while
Yep.
through over the course of time. Like if I ever
Hmm.
had a granddaughter, you know what I'm saying, or and she had a granddaughter, as long as UNC still a school, they could be applying for the Tiana Lynn
Exactly.
Cunningham scholarship, bro. So just we hit the goal to make it live forever. But like I was thinking, if we had hit, if we could had hit some number where it was like in the M or something that it was a million in there or something like that,
Yep.
it might just be paying off a whole semester, a whole year, a whole
Yeah.
college tuition for somebody. You know what I mean? Every year. You know what I mean? So that's one that I think that's really I hold that one super close to me, man.
And it's not if, it's when.
Win, you know what I'm saying? Win.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's one of the closest ones to me. And yeah,
Hmm.
man, just like being like you said, just being able to take care of your outside of that, your close people, you know what I'm saying? Moms, for sure, you know what I'm saying? But mom's doing good, you know what I'm saying? Mom's doing
Mom's is
good,
good.
man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but just being able to really do something for her, help set her up in a cool way has always been something I think that most people have, an affinity towards just doing something big for their mom. So that one
Hmm.
for sure. Um, but I think that we've been on a course that like a lot of the things that we're doing are becoming about things like that. Like I think with remote escapes is one of them. It's like taking people to a different country and like helping broaden some of their horizons and making them feel comfortable while doing it, man. It's
Yeah.
like that we've changed so much just from traveling that like just offering these same opportunities to other people. I think is
Yep.
big, bro. You know
Huge.
what I mean? It's huge. So yeah, those are just a couple small things for me. But I think over the course of the last couple of years, for sure that like a lot of things we've been doing is becoming a lot more intentional about things like that. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Yeah. So what about you?
Yeah, man. I touched on it earlier. Obviously, wanting to get into philanthropy at some point. That's just a big thing. We talk we talk about it often, just like legacy and impact. And I think anyone who knows us directly knows the type of men that we are and what we bring into this world, and what the impact uh of what we're trying to do in, like, just us being around, kind of thing. But I think being able to do that in the masses, and really being able to um serve people who, may not have been dealt the same cards and might be underprivileged and whatnot. I think that's something that I'm passionate about in the grander scheme of things, right? Because, we talk about it like, in order to be a philanthropist, you have to make a lot of money. Because as much as I'd love to be donating, like $17 here and there to this, charity and whatnot, it may not be a lot, but it's like, cool, I'm doing something. But it's just like, when it's like you can turn around and donate, like, 2 mil to this like cause, or, like whatever the case may be. And just things that you're passionate about. Um, I think that's something that is really going to be like the stamp on my legacy. Like, I think all of us are cementing our legacies in real time, but I think that's going to be the ultimate, just like stamp, like, all right, cool. Like, not only was I able to accomplish this for, like, not just myself, but the people around me, but I was able to pass that on to, like, people, complete strangers, and just and help uplift people in ways that I could never have. Well, I'm not going to say could never imagine, because I can see it right now. It's just a matter of manifesting it, execution, right? And stuff like that. So I think that's a big thing that I'm passionate about, is uh is philanthropy.
Is there a specific cause that you could think that you would want to? Because as I'm thinking about this, like we manifesting, we're gonna have the bread at some point. But if
Hmm.
you was putting like a large thing in the money, like into a specific cause, is there something that like sticks out to you more than others?
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good question. So I think there's multiple causes that I'm actually passionate about. I think one of them is prison reform. So I think figuring out ways, just I haven't been directly impacted by it, in my own life, but just having, siblings and just people around me that have been in and out of the prison system, and just like realizing that our system is broken and whatnot. I think prison reform, and just really just catering specifically to demographics of like color and um, education, I think is a big thing. Like, those things kind of go hand in hand. I think prison reform and education, those are two things that I'm really passionate about, because I think that's how we're going to change the future. Like take the cards that we were dealt, and use them to our advantage. So um, I think those two things, like prison reform, education, definitely. I'm a firm believer in higher education. I know education may not work for everybody, but for the people who do want to go out and seek higher education and may not have the opportunity or the means to do so, being able to, extend a helping hand, just like you said, with the Tiana Lynn Cunningham scholarship and stuff like that. Like, those are things that it's like, still to this day, I think about how much college impacted my life. Even though, like, I graduated with a C average, right? Like, it's not like I was out here like a scholar student. Like, I was just like, like, I was, I wasn't on the dean's list or nothing like that, but, but, uh, but I got my degree, man, and still to this day, a lot of my direct network from college is what has gotten me to the point of where I am today, and where I'm going to be tomorrow. So that's something that, I would pay for tenfold. And I think being able to share that experience with other people and just contribute to it is major. So I think that, and then also, I'm not entirely sure how, like, I would get into it, but like, um, just figuring out a way to impact the uh I don't want to necessarily say renewable energy, but just like something in something in some way to impact uh like where our imprint of human beings like on this world. Because like I'm not the most like, yeah, I recycle, I do my part, I do certain things here and there, but it's just like I feel like we all could be doing better, man, and just uh something that I'm big on. I'm very spiritual, and I'm big on like, like the energy, like big on just energy just in general, but also the energy that we share with the planet, man. Like I feel like we take so much from the planet, but we don't give anything, and so like, and it's showing the impact that, like it's obviously having on the planet and stuff like that. And so I'm not entirely sure how I want to like get involved um in um I guess going green, or like just finding ways to um reduce our carbon imprint, and just ultimately just bettering the world that we live in, just like step by step, like things like I was driving by a landfill the other day, like we were driving from Denver to Sacramento, and I was just like, it's crazy to think that like all of our trash is just piling up like under the ground, like right, like we're just filling the land with just like all this crap, like trash, bro. Like that's nuts. Like it's just crazy to think about. I'm just like, it's landfills, right? So it's something that we've just gotten so accustomed to, but that's also nuts. Like, I was thinking about that. I was like, damn, that's crazy, but. Yeah, like I said, I don't know exactly how I want to get involved, but I like that is something that I do care about.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fire, bro. That's hella
yeah,
fire,
man.
bro.
Aside from the like scholarship, is there any other things or goals that you have, I guess, that directly impact others?
I really like the education part. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's
Yep.
part with the scholarship. Um, and like I said, you know, I'm really big on, because I kind of agree with everything that you said as far as like those types of things, like prison reform. I think like what could happen after they get out is the big thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like kind of getting acclimated back into it. But yeah, education is big, even from like, we got the scholarship for like higher education, but like lower education,
Hmm.
man. I really like to make some play, like, bro, there's so many things just like financially like that we've been learning over the last couple of years, that it would just be so dope to just have some type of programs where, like, you know what I'm saying, like younger kids was learning that, like, you know what I'm saying, like if, you know your niece, or you know what I'm saying, my niece or something was learning about stocks and taxes, and you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, and compound
Facts.
interest in fifth grade. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
what, if we even was hip to that like back then, I know we know now, if we was hip to it back then, where we would been, you know what I'm saying? So I think like getting some like financial literacy into to younger schools, some type of play like that would be super dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think that would be super dope. Um, yeah, man, and just just finding different ways that like people that need meals can get them, man. I mean,
Facts.
that's there's
Facts.
there's this concept of like if we like in places where there was like a large homeless population, if we planted like fruit trees, they could just kind of live off of it. But like
Hmm.
places don't want to do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
don't want that to be like an almost an option. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that shit is little shit like that, just to have areas where stuff like that could happen. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Facts.
a little orange tree or a little apple tree, or you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? People was out there to
Man.
be able to just eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Little stuff like that, man. But like,
Or even things
what
like I was gonna say like the statistic that's so alarming to me is that in America we waste 40% of food.
literally,
That's so nuts. Like that blows my mind that like 40% of our food goes away. So it's just like to think if we were able to like just like I don't know, create some kind of foundation or something where we could like partner with local restaurants and stuff like that, where like whatever, like because I know like they say it's like illegal to like like to like the food that you have at the end of the night, like you have to throw it out, like it's illegal, like, but I don't know, like there has to be some way that we can figure that out, man, because the fact that 40% of our food goes to waste is just nuts. That's almost half of the food in our work, like in our society. Like that's crazy to me,
yeah,
so um there's so many things that we could be doing to help um, the people who are homeless and just underprivileged and just don't have access to it. Shout out to Tracy. Tracy said, like obviously kids in Africa and like just people. There's a lot of people in the world who are struggling, man. So we could be doing a lot more. Is really like what we could be doing. So I think that's important.
Yeah, yeah, man, and that's a fact, man. I think I, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'm sure like us just having an imprint, you know, for anybody in here, we're going to Africa. We're taking
Yeah,
15
man.
people to
We
Africa
taking
in
15 people.
February, but little pieces like that is like, I fully plan on looking at like investing out there. And when I do, naturally, it's gonna be natural that you're gonna be able to make some moves happen there. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like once you're there, you can make moves happen there. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So I'm sure we're gonna eventually set up some cool plays out there while we out there. You know what I mean? It's like, sometimes you don't know what they need until you really out there, and it's like, okay, um what's needed the most?
hmm
We're going to Rwanda, Tracy. We're going to
hmm
Rwanda. You know what I'm
Rwanda in
saying? So
February.
in
So
February from the 20th to the 28th, man. We taking 15 people with us, man. We're gonna do it fly. So there's gonna be like some cool stuff going on as far as like events and safari tours and city tours and stuff like that. But we also gonna look at like investing out there too. You know what I'm saying? Showing
real
people that
estate tours.
and like real estate tours and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Hmm.
yeah, we're gonna take no way. Hey, shout out
Hey,
to Tracy.
shout out to Tracy.
We gonna see if you still out there in February. We're gonna see you in
We
February.
gonna be out. We gonna see you out there. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
Yeah, man. That's what's up. That's super fire, man.
yeah.
Shout out to
So
Rwanda, man. That was
shout
the
out to
first place
Rwanda.
that we went in Africa last year, man. And they just the way the people embraced us was
The
incredible, man.
hospitality
It
out
was
there is crazy.
incredible. I've never felt anything like it. I honestly haven't. You know what I'm saying? It felt like they just really made you feel like you at home, man. So
Hmm.
I got a I got a
Hmm.
I got a soft spot for Rwanda,
We
man.
we coming
Are
back.
we coming back? We're
We're
gonna
coming
see you in
back. We'll be
February.
there.
What's
We'll be
up?
there in February.
We're gonna
So
be
we
there.
we'll be
We're
outside.
gonna, yeah, man. We coming back, man.
We coming
We
back.
coming back, man. Y'all make sure y'all come see us when we out there, man. For sure.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some things going on out there, man. And we love to see. It'd be really dope to see everybody that we seen out there last time we was there.
Yeah.
So
We connected with some amazing people, man. Like I said, some of the most beautiful people I've ever met in my life, man. Just inside and out, man. Just
promise.
vibes.
I promise, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up, Tracy.
We we'll we'll connect with you. We'll maybe see if there's some way that we can help contribute to the cause and whatnot that you have going as well. So that'd be
Yeah,
something that we'd like to look into. So we'll tap in with you, Tracy.
yeah, that'll be fire.
Yeah. Um, I and to the point that we talked about earlier, I think the big thing about bucket lists is I think it says a lot about who you are as a person, your personality, and your priorities in life. And that's
Hmm.
something that we talked about. And so all the things that we've named and uh, that we want to accomplish, that we have accomplished and obviously want to accomplish, says a lot about like who we are as people, and legacy that we want to leave behind, what the things that we want to do. What do you think your bucket list says specifically about you?
Oh man, hey, if y'all in here, shout out to Tracy too, man. She seems like she would be a person to answer this too. What do you
Yeah.
think your bucket list says about you? I think for me it says, it definitely says that I like moving around. Having four different cribs around the world, like, you know what I'm saying? And I think I have a connection to like I have like a call to connect with with different cultures.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it definitely says about me. Um, and I think that I just want a collective better society. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In different ways, man. I think
Yep.
that that's a big thing that it says about me is that I just want more from my people. We've been blessed in a lot of ways, man. Of course, we always talk about,
Yep.
we not where we want to be fully. I don't know if that ever really happens. Like, yo, I'm where I want to be. Nah, you keep growing and leveling up. But we've been blessed. A lot of things we're able to do is just strictly based off where we was born, who we was born to, our family, our parents, friends, in the area that we was in. A lot of that stuff is based off that. It's just pure luck, right? So, you know, um, for the people that didn't have those types of opportunities is going to always be. I'm gonna always have a pull to see how we
Yeah.
can make it better for them. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I think it says that. It definitely says that about me, man. And um, yeah, bro. I think that's it's a couple small things that it says about me for sure.
Hmm.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. I I agree with everything that you're saying. I think what my bucket list says is pretty similar to yours. Is I think there's one word that comes to mind, and I think that's selfless. I think I forgot what the quote was, but it's we had talked about it in one of our previous lives. It's just like if all of your goals and things that you want to accomplish in life only impact yourself, then you're doing a disservice to not only yourself but the world. Like, like it's what you do in this world that impacts others is what really reflects upon who you are as a person and just your soul, kind of thing. And I think the thing about being mindful of things and just like thinking outside the scope of ourselves, right? Like I'm even thinking about the outside of the scope of like my people directly, like friends and family. Of course, you want to be able to impact them, but I think being able to just leave some kind of like legacy or cement some kind of opportunities in the world where you can like benefit people who you may not directly know, I think is something that's huge, man. And whether that be through your art, through donations, foundations and stuff like that. Like there's just so many different ways that you can impact the world, and we were actually having a conversation about that yesterday. Was that yesterday? No, the day before when we were in San Francisco. When we were on that rooftop, we were chilling. We were like, what matters to you more? Um, Financial freedom or leaving behind like a name, like a legacy, kind of thing. And um, yeah,
Cool. That's interesting.
I, I, I actually pose that question now because I think that like it's interesting the type of responses that come from that. So I'll actually ask you that now to see what you think because I think we had multiple conversations and multiple answers come from that. But what do you think?
It's 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 really tough because like a lot of like I think the capitalist culture has built us to like really want to just you know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna
Hmm.
always really want more. You know what I mean? But if you reach financial freedom and you didn't leave no impact, no legacy at all,
Hmm.
that just means that you really it was really just all self. And that
Yeah.
so like of course I want both. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I want both, but I guess if I had to pick, it would be on the legacy side. I
Yeah.
guess
Yeah.
because
That's
I
interesting.
can't imagine that if I met financial freedom and I didn't leave no legacy, that means I didn't really like if it's polar opposites, right? Like that means I
Hmm.
didn't leave nothing to the world.
Hmm.
I just don't. I can't see me doing that. I just you know what I'm saying because there's things that you can even build. I'm nowhere near financial freedom, right? But there's things that
Hmm.
I'm building along the way
Yeah.
now. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like I know that that's a priority for me,
Yeah.
you know. But I can't see if they was just like, all right, kill all that shit that you did, take all that shit back. We're gonna roll the time back. You can't do
Yeah.
none of that shit no more. But you could, you know what I'm saying? This is your path to financial freedom. But none
Yeah.
of that other shit you can't do. I probably can't take that, bro.
Yeah.
Personally. Personally.
It's interesting, man, because I think it also depends on like how you look at the question too, right? Because I'm actually on the other side of things. Like I actually chose financial freedom, and that's because I chose it. The reason I chose it is because I think regardless of what I accomplish in my life, in a perfect world, to your point and to Tracy's point, I want both. Like there's no way that like I think both go hand in hand in a lot of ways. Especially if like I think if you're on the frequency and wavelength that we are. But regardless of what I accomplish in my life, when I pass, God forbid if I were to pass today, everyone who knew me knows like the type of man that I was and like hopefully that would carry on. But like realistically, your impact is only going to last maybe one generation, right? Like of like who you were as a person and like your name and whatnot. Like even if you had kids, right? Like because a lot of people look at legacy as like maybe your family, like your kids and stuff like that. And you're hoping that like you leave the kind of impact on the people around you to where they're still talking about you a generation, multiple generations from now. But I think about being able to impact the masses, right? Like, and so I think,
But
correct.
you kind of choosing both, bro. I feel like you choose
No, no,
because
no,
if you
no.
get financial freedom and just to make the impact, that's legacy.
Yeah,
You
I think
choosing both,
both. I think both do go hand in hand. Yeah,
but but
but that's why I'm choosing both.
if you separate them, you can't do both. That's why
Nah, that
you
wasn't what the
can't.
question was.
That's
That
what the
wasn't what
question.
the question. Nah, because you can still have a huge. I think about like Gandhi, right? Gandhi was not rich at all. Like, but he still was able to like leave a huge impact on the world. And I think the only way that you could really do that without any kind of financial prowess is by using like religion and or something along those lines in order to like create that kind of impact. I'm not super religious. I'm very spiritual, but I'm not religious. So like I'm not gonna go and create my own religion and like, like create this like massive like cult follow like not cult following, but like make this huge impact on the world with my like religious views and stuff like that. Like that's just not the type of person that I am. Like I don't necessarily see that in my cards of being the next Gandhi or something like that. But the reason why the conversation came up is because we were talking about people like, if you think about the most successful people in the world, the Jeff Bezoses and, Mark Zuckerberg's, all these people, like they wouldn't be there who they are without their financial, like without the financial success that they had. If Jeff Bezos created Amazon and was still just in his garage, still with the same crazy ass idea, but just never accomplished what he accomplished, he wouldn't be anybody. Like he would just be the local crazy ass dude who was just in his garage trying to sell books, sling books out of his garage. But the only reason why he was able to become the Jeff Bezos that we know is because he's worth now 200 plus $1 billion, right? Kind of thing. And to attain that kind of like level of success, like I do still think you can have a huge um impact on the world, but it may not be like a legacy or anything like that, like I
I
guess
don't know
like
if I agree. I think everybody we thinking of is gonna have because the reason I picked how I picked is because I had to separate them completely. Like
yeah,
if I went this way, you can't have that way, and if you went this way, you can't have that way.
yeah,
That I had to separate them. If you go like financial freedom, but then it impacts all the people that you could do with the money, then that's like choosing both. So that's like an easy, you know what I mean? But I was
well,
like, I had to completely separate them. Like, if it's gonna be financial
yeah,
freedom, it's just for me, for real. I'm
yeah,
free, but I'm not helping. Like, it's no legacy attached. I'm not helping
yeah.
past next generations at all. Like, I'm just me.
If I'm going in that regard, then yeah, I'm choosing legacy. Of course, I'm choosing. But like, I don't think we live in a world where you can't have both. And that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Like, because okay, so I'll tell you, Marco was the one who posed the question, and the reason why he posed the question was because like he was talking about like legacy, like the impact of your name. Like if you walk into a room and everyone knows who you are, it's because of like your name, right? It's because of of what you've accomplished. But like looking at it from that perspective, like one of the people he brought up was Jeff Bezos, and I was like, bro, like Jeff Bezos wouldn't be Jeff Bezos if he didn't have billions of dollars. Like he would just like he wouldn't be the Jeff Bezos that we know. Like like because we talk about it all the time, right? There's a very thin line between genius and insanity, and that line is success. If he hadn't accomplished the financial success that he had, he would still just be that crazy ass dude in his garage. Same thing with I think about people like Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast talks about it all the time of like, yo, like if I wasn't a successful YouTuber, I would still just be that crazy ass dude who was just like, playing video games and just like trying to build his YouTube channel, like, like and just everybody would be viewing you as crazy, but I think from that perspective, like of course, if I had to separate the two, I'm definitely choosing legacy. But like I think about it from like the perspective of like with financial freedom, I don't necessarily like need to be famous. Like I don't care to be famous. Like um there's plenty of billionaires in the world that we know who like that we don't know actually that we would never know who they were if they were just walking down the street. Um and still the level of impact and success that you're able to have, you know, um with just what you were able to accomplish financially, because I want to be that pivotal factor in my family to where they know that like, yo, he changed our name forever. Like the Willard name will be changed forever because of what he was able to accomplish and what resources he provided for our family, kind of thing. And that's the kind of like legacy that is cemented forever, kind of thing like that. That's not just like one generation down, two generations down. That's forever. Like, yo, he was the one who shifted everything for us, like forever, kind of thing. And so, yeah, just thinking about it from like the way the question was presented, I was like, yeah, I'm choosing financial freedom for sure.
Because that sounds more like a would you rather be rich or famous?
Yeah,
That's that
exactly,
that
exactly,
that that I'm
exactly,
thinking on the rich
exactly,
side. But when you said
exactly.
the word legacy, I was thinking like that's you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
that's a different
yeah,
type of thing. That's not
yeah,
famous. I was thinking like 'cause even if my legacy wasn't attached to my name, I wouldn't matter.
yeah.
To me, if I left the legacy, it didn't have to be like you know, man, it was like maybe I played the role that did something. You know what I'm saying? If I worked
Mm-hmm.
hand in hand with a multimillionaire and we got this shit done, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I was never
Yep.
financially free. That's so uh, yeah, man, yeah, freedom. That Tracy's going in. Shout out
Yeah.
to Tracy, man. He said some people already have powers to their name without doing anything, but people talk about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Agree.
Both ways. He
Agree.
said freedom doesn't mean you are famous, free, and your will of doing anything you want.
Yeah. But I think that's also another point that we talked about. Financial freedom is going to be different to each and every person, right? And what I view financial freedom as is the ability to afford whatever lifestyle you want. Um, like I think that's what financial freedom. Some people like some to one person it might just be having a house, having a car, and just maybe having like 200K in the bank. That might be
For
financial freedom, kind of
sure.
things.
For
You
sure.
know,
Depending on where you got it, you could
just
live a crazy
depending on
life
where you
like
are.
that.
You know, my lifestyle is a little bit more robust than that. Like that at least like my ideal lifestyle, of course. So which also brought in another conversation. We were talking about what your number is, and we had this conversation in one of our previous episodes when we were talking about what our numbers were. Y'all tried to roast me for my 10 million. I was like, bro, I could do a lot with 10 million. Now, I'm not saying that like that's my overall most magic number, but like with the least amount though, like 10 million would be my number though. Like as far as like the number that I think is going to change the trajectory of everything from now on. The minimum number would be 10 million is what I'm saying.
I feel that. I feel
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I feel that.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, that's a good question, though, man. It makes you think for sure. 'Cause that's like, and there's two versions of the same question, like rich or famous versus financial freedom and
yeah.
legacy. They're kind of different questions, but if it makes you think on either side, though. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I'm not gonna
Definitely
lie.
does.
I think a lot about my bucket list revolves around what it is that I want to accomplish in like my professional life. I think a lot of
Sure.
it is it is surrounded. I guess you could say career, but like not your traditional career, right? Like not like working in the corporate, climbing the ladder 9 to 5. Like there's a lot of it that I want to accomplish on my own with like business ventures and stuff like that. But I think a lot of like what my bucket list revolves around is attached to what it is that I want to accomplish and also the things I love to just travel. So I ain't gonna lie, a lot of it is being outside too,
Yeah,
for sure. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
is there anything on your bucket list that you've accomplished that you felt was like super underwhelming? Like it wasn't like what you expected it to be.
uh, oh man, if somebody's gonna hate me if they're from there, you know what I'm saying, and they love it like that, but and maybe we didn't experience it right, but Paris, bro, going to Paris that was the most underwhelming place that I've been, to be honest, bro. Like I don't know what it was. It was it was how the people was a little bit out there. It was we seen the Eiffel Tower, and then it was just like now what, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't spend a lot of time there, but just like it didn't have the energy attached to it that in my mind I thought it would. So that was one
Hmm.
for me that I just what I mean, like, and a lot of people want to go there. Like it's like it's like the aura attached to it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? But nah, I didn't feel that aura, bro. I need to maybe re-experience it. But there's some other places I'm gonna go before that. So that's what I'm gonna say. Was going to Paris that was underwhelming for me, bro.
yeah. I don't know, man. I do agree. I was there. I was right there with you. So I mean, I definitely, I can reiterate. I can second that notion. It definitely wasn't all it was cooked up to be. But I think to your point, we probably didn't experience it in the fullest capacity. So uh, outside of that, though, like if there, I'm trying to think if there's really anything on my bucket list that I've crossed off that I didn't really find to be what I wanted it to be. Because honestly, most of the things that I've crossed off my bucket list have been lit.
That's a
I ain't gonna
fact.
lie. I
Same
ain't gonna
though.
lie.
Same. Same.
And I
Same.
think that's just also like the energy that we bring to it, right? Like, because I think like when you walk into any situation with just like trying to make the best of every situation, you're gonna have the best time more than not, right? Like, like you could still go in and with the right mindset and have a terrible time,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
like I just haven't found, because I'm trying to think like recently what I crossed off my bucket list, and the most recent thing was maybe was it skydiving? Was skydiving my most recent bucket list? I mean, I guess Brazil, like that was like
Mm.
the destination that I crossed off my bucket list for sure. And that was far from underwhelming. That was the complete opposite. That was amazing. So um and that also crossed off my bucket list of like taking my mom on an international trip, so shout
Yeah.
out to
Okay.
Mom Dukes, man. Um I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's nothing that comes to my mind outside of like the whole Paris thing. You know, uh, I'm gonna definitely have to copy that answer because that was underwhelming for sure. Outside of the Eiffel Tower, like the Eiffel Tower, seeing the Eiffel Tower in person was lit. But outside of that, I didn't really care for Paris much.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, there's nothing else on my bucket list that at least that's coming to mind where I was just like, yo, this was like mad underwhelming.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, most of the times it's been dope, man. Like I said, we've been blessed, man. Of course, that we still want to move to the places that we going, man. But we've been able to find um ways to accomplish these bucket lists in real time, which is really dope, man. It's like, I think we're not attached to any type of way that like it's like blocking us back from shit. Like shit just seems attainable.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? We just gonna figure this shit out. Like no matter what it
Yeah,
is, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's kind of dope to talk about these things, and we talk about manifest Mondays, and we manifesting kind of things every Monday, bro. And like some of the, it's just dope to
facts.
talk about it before it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Literally,
And
literally
it's like there's some shit that's about to happen in the next month that's about to be,
crazy,
some dope shit going on.
crazy.
We'll say that for another episode. You know what I mean? But maybe we'll do it from there. You know what I mean?
Facts.
But
Shout out to Tracy. She said drinking liquor, and she
was
said she
Lee
did it. She did it last week, and she hated it.
that
Okay, so I'll say this.
crazy? That was
That's
on your
that's
bucket
crazy.
list.
That's
What'd
crazy.
you have, Tracy? What? It was on your bucket list.
First, what did you have? Secondly, like alcohol is like an acquired taste. It's something that like I can recall the first time I drank liquor, and it was terrible. Like I think
I can
it's one
recall
of those things.
the last time I had it, and it was sometimes it's really not. It's not about the taste for real. Like a lot of times, it's about the feeling. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. I think it's just like there are things that you can drink that you do enjoy, but it takes a while to figure out what it is that you like. So I'll say that, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it took me a while to figure out that I like tequila. Like I went through a lot of terrible phases before getting to tequila, before landing on tequila. I went through a lot of terrible, like I mean, just trash phases. So
Yeah.
yeah, like it takes a while. Even beer, I used to hate beer. Like I remember, like I used to not like beer at all, and then eventually I came around to it. I enjoyed a beer last
Mm.
night. So it's definitely an acquired taste. But I definitely feel you. Just like I can still recall the first time I ever tried alcohol, and it was
Yeah,
terrible. It was terrible,
right. What's
and
the first thing
even
you ever
times
had?
after that, vodka. It was
Yeah.
vodka. Well, okay, so like I had beer, like like my dad let me try beer, like back like when I was a kid, and I like hated it, of course, like
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was a kid. Like he was just like it was a little like sip of beer, and I like spit it out because it was like
Yeah.
trash, of course.
Yeah.
But like the first time like intentionally trying to drink was vodka, and vodka was like it was. I think it was Burnett's. I'm pretty sure it was Burnett's. It was trash, bro.
Shout out to Tracy. The feeling, the feeling is bad because I know myself and I'm shy when I'm out. But we was talking to everybody and cussed the shit out the owner of the club, man. Hey,
She
he
was in there.
deserved that shit. He deserved that shit, Tracy. He
Tracy was
deserved
in there
that
cutting
shit,
up.
man.
Tracy was in there cutting up, man. She was
Come
she was
on,
on a
man.
level.
Come
That
on,
that that
man.
whatever she was drinking, man, that
Come
had her on
on.
a level. She was in there.
What club was it, man? Because you know what I'm saying we gonna be back out there in Rwanda, man. You might not be allowed, huh?
She was in there like this, like
Oh,
just
you know
like
you,
with
yeah. Come
all the
on, man.
points and everything. That's hilarious. She was in there
That's
cutting up,
crazy,
man.
man. Nah,
And
that's
if
crazy.
you mother, she
Hey, I'm
was
not
in
gonna lie
there.
though, that alcohol regret is one of the worst things ever, man. Especially them nights that
Yeah,
you can't remember stuff and people got to piece the night back to you. I had plenty of many nights like that. I'm not gonna lie, and that shit is not ain't not. It's so unplayer. One shot, Tracy. That's wild though. That's
that is crazy.
come on.
That is.
That's
I
wild.
mean,
That's
but she
wild.
ain't never drink. She ain't
Yeah,
never drank before,
never
so
drank
it
before.
was
Yeah,
it was just one that just got her to that level.
yeah.
Damn. What was it a
Facts, man.
shot of? I'm curious.
He took a shot of. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess whiskey. He took a shot of whiskey.
Oh no, I'm
Nah,
not.
she
No, I hope not.
probably went vodka. She went vodka. She
I
went
was gonna
vodka.
say it was probably. I feel like everybody's first alcohol that they try is vodka.
Oh
Oh,
shit, it was. It
oh,
was Jack.
Jack.
Uh,
Oh,
there you have
we.
there you have it, man.
My heart hurts for you. I'm like,
Your first one too? That's
oh,
crazy.
whiskey is not it. I'm sorry. I'm not on the whiskey train. Not on the whiskey train, man.
I enjoy some whiskey from time to time.
It's just,
Man. Nah,
uh,
that's
so I guess the last question, before we close out, is there a time frame for completing your bucket list? Like, do you think like you have to not necessarily accomplish everything on your list, but like, is there like certain deadlines like where you should be checking off things
uh
on your bucket list?
I think when you do that, man, you put a lot of like unnecessary pressure on the time frame, right?
Hmm.
But I feel like if you never put a time on anything, you might not ever do it. So I don't think you gotta, you know what I'm saying? But I think it is cool to be like, if it's certain things that you actually want to do, put some emphasis on them and become more focused. I don't think just write everything out and be like, I gotta do all this shit. Be like,
Hmm.
this year I want to do maybe close your eyes and just pick one or something. But I think you do have to put some type of time frame on some things, or else you'll just never do none of it.
Is that
You know what I mean? So I do think you want to put some type frame on just like going into like this year I'm going to Africa, or this year I'm skydiving. Next year or 4 years down the road, the World Cup's gonna be over here. I'm gonna make sure I'm in a good enough place to go there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I think, and then to be honest, just to be honest, like going somewhere when you're 20 versus when you're 30 versus when you're 70 is three
bro?
different experiences.
Huge difference.
It's three different experiences, man. So there's certain things that you might be like, I almost probably would put them like that. Like, what do you need to experience while you're younger to get the most out of it? Versus, like there might be things like if you want to sail to another country on a cruise, you could do that now and it would still be lit, but you could probably still do that at 70 and it'd be cool. But paragliding at 80 might not it might not make sense. You know what I'm
You
saying?
might fuck around and die.
That's might be your last
Like,
bucket list, man.
for real. I mean, hey, at
You
least you
know what I'm
go out
saying?
on top. But I mean, uh, but yeah, shout out to Tracy. She said, that. I'm gonna say this. I think for myself, I think I have a personal goal to accomplish most of the things on my bucket list probably by 50. By 50 years old, I want to have accomplished a lot of the things that I want to have done in my life. Just because I think, to the point that we just talked about, you can enjoy things in your youth more than you can when you're older. Like, me, to the point of skydiving. Like if I went skydiving at like 65 years old, bro, there's a possible chance you might die. Like you just, fortunately, I've already crossed that off my bucket list. So like knowing the experience that I had while skydiving, if you do that shit older, boy, man, I'm telling you, you might, your heart might fuck around and get croak on you, man. You might
Yeah.
give up. It's a hell of an experience. I'll say that, so there's just certain things that it's just like, I don't know. I think to your point of placing some kind of sense of urgency on things is important. Like, because I think honestly, the reason why we've accomplished a lot of the things that we've accomplished in life is because we like challenged ourselves to do it. Like, it was just like, nah, I'm just, like our goal was to go to a new country every year, like prior to, um, uh, COVID, COVID kind of like shifted a lot of things, but I think we're kind of back on that track of like trying to go to a new destination every year type thing. And, fortunately we've been we've been blessed to where we've been able to accomplish a lot of the things that we've wanted to do. And so we're only going to continue to build from here. But I definitely think, a lot of the things I want to accomplish in life, I would prefer to do them before 50 just because I want to be able to enjoy a lot of the things. And not just myself, I want the people around me to be able to enjoy those things, sooner rather than later. And um, maybe that is placing a little bit of unnecessary pressure on myself, but that's also like why I got broad shoulders, man. Like we built for this, man. We built for this load. Can,
Come on,
can
man.
shoulder this load of pressure, man. So it's what we out here to do, man.
Shout out to Tracy. She said last week we got to add Liberia. We for sure gonna be
Oh
out there.
yeah, we
I
definitely
don't
going
know
to
if you don't
Liberia.
know if you know, but Diamond be on. Diamond's one of the ones that be on uh every Monday with us. You know what I'm saying? And he's from Liberia, owns land in Liberia. We're for sure taking that trip at some point.
Hmm.
I would love to. I would love to be there, man. Where you
Yeah,
based, Tracy? Where are you based in Rwanda?
yeah. She
If
said
you
she's
are,
in
man,
Rwanda now, but
yeah, is that where you live? Is that where you living right now?
yeah,
If so, man, when we come out, well, let's definitely connect, man. Fire, bro, fire. That's what's
yeah,
up.
yep.
Yeah,
We'll
well,
definitely tap in
when we
there.
come out there, yeah, we come out there and uh, no, no, she's not. I think she was saying yes to the Liberia part, but no, she's not based
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, but yeah, if you are in Rwanda when we're out there though, that we would love to. There's like some ideas that we have. I'm not gonna say it right now, but there's some cool ideas that we have to implement while we out there, man, and it would be dope to have some extra hands out there. So
Yeah,
yeah, for sure though.
yeah. But shout out to everybody who tapped in, man. I mean, I think this was a great episode. I think it's honestly, I think it's important to just like start these kind of conversations, like talking about bucket lists and stuff like that, because
Mhm.
I think that's also another question you should start asking yourself, like when is a proper age to start building your bucket list and start, considering these things? Because to your point, if we never discuss these things and you kind of like never talk about these things, even with yourself, right? If you never have these internal conversations and start setting these goals for yourself, some of these things you might never do. It's just because you just never, thought about it, So um, I think it's important to have these conversations internally and externally. Share these conversations with other people because there might be people who, have different ideas, and it's just like, oh man, I never thought about that, but let me go ahead and add that to my bucket list, kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to just be around people that inspire you, because that'll bring out certain things about yourself and what it is that you want to accomplish that you never thought.
And the one just to add to that too, the one thing that's better than crossing something off your bucket list is crossing it off with somebody else that you actually fuck with being there too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like that's heavy, man. So like, having groups like this and be like, yo, that's on your
Yeah.
shit too. Hey, let's do that shit
Yeah.
now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
my cousin
Yeah.
Hanifa, she came out here and she was like, like I always wanted to go, hot air balloon. I was like, that's on mine too. Let's cross it off together. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like little stuff like
Yeah.
that be really dope. So just to talk about it and then build. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna come back to see
Uh,
you guys and work with
sh-
y'all. Yeah. Shout
yeah,
out to Tracy.
facts. And shout
Make
out,
sure you follow us, man. I'm gonna definitely tap in for
yeah,
sure.
I'm definitely tapping with Tracy. But shout out, that also brings up the saying, I forgot, who is it that we had on? What's better than doing dope shit is doing dope shit with dope people. I think
Facts.
that
Tyler,
that
wasn't
brings
it?
up, yeah, Tyler. That's who it was. Shout out to Tyler, man. He said that. you know what's better than doing dope shit? Doing dope shit with dope people, you know. So
Right.
do those things that you want to do on your bucket list, but do them with the people that you enjoy most. Because I ain't gonna lie, man, like we had some amazing times together. We done
Right.
we done a lot of dope shit in his life, and the crazy things is we've done it together.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, and it's so much doper just to have a group of good energy. It don't matter if we in Atlanta, you know what I'm
Man,
saying, on the little rooftop up there, or we in Vienna, or we in Rwanda, you know what I'm saying, or we, you know what I'm saying. It don't really
no matter.
matter. When you got a good group there, that's really it shows you that too. Like that's what really matters. If you know what I'm saying, and when you bring that type of energy out, like you somehow we end up attracting them same type of people everywhere we go. Because
Everywhere,
we, for some
man.
reason, everywhere we go, we find people with good vibes. You know what I'm
Good
saying?
vibes, man.
You know what I'm saying? So,
So
no, that's fact.
whoever, wherever y'all gonna catch these
Y'all
vibes,
gonna
man.
catch
Just
a
know that. Just
vibe,
know that
man.
y'all gonna
Yeah.
catch these vibes.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, shout out to you,
Hey, shout out to
Tracy.
Tracy,
Yeah.
man.
Go
Yeah,
write that thing
yeah.
down, man, and we're gonna
Go
connect.
write
Make
that.
sure.
I actually wrote down my bucket list like a couple of years ago. I actually need to check in. I actually haven't even like checked in on it. Like, you know, I'm sure I probably crossed off a couple of those things, but yeah, definitely write down your bucket list and just, you know, assess with yourself where you're at with things and what you want to do.
Facts, big facts.
So shout out to Tracy.
Shout out to
And
Tracy,
again,
man.
shout out to everybody who tapped in, man. Shout out to Bunifa. Shout Shout out to
Marco,
shout out to Marco. Shout out to Diamond for tapping in. You know, even for the short amount of time that he could. And shout out to him,
that
man,
was a
for like you
perfect.
know they're able
That was a
to.
perfect cameo for the day,
Yeah,
though.
man. That was a perfect cameo. They're crossing off a huge bucket list item. You know, buying a car for Pops. You know, for his birthday. So that's the type of things that we want to be doing, man. You know, I ain't quite on that level yet. You know, like DG got that. He's a diamond member, man. You know, so like so he's he's on a different level. But we getting there, man. It's the dope thing is just to be around people who inspire us um and vice versa, and to just be able to do the things and have these conversations. I think is everything.
Big facts, man. Well, I think that was a perfect way to wrap the episode, man. Make sure if y'all on here to follow the Spot Network page. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
got, new mixes on there almost every week. Hey man, and shout out to hey man, if you run whatever the time is where you at right now, we on here every Monday around the same time,
Every
man. So
Monday at the
if you
same
bored
time.
next Monday, come tap in with us, man. For sure.
We'll, we'll unbore you.
We'll onboard you.
We are so unboring.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Facts.
but all right,
All
y'all. We
right,
appreciate
y'all.
everybody.
For
We'll be
real.
back next Monday and every Monday after that. Y'all keep manifesting everything that y'all want, man, and we'll see y'all next week.
Facts. All right,
Holla.
y'all.